have you ever thought about the moment when this life ends and you stand before Allah? Surah An-Nazi gives that warning. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Quran with Rahim. Surah 79. An-Nazi'at, meaning those who pull out. This surah was revealed in Makkah. Its main message is that resurrection is real, the day of judgment is certain, and the person who fears standing before Allah and controls their desires will succeed. This surah matters because many people get busy with this world and forget the hereafter. Allah reminds us that death, resurrection, and judgment are not far away, and real success is to prepare for that meeting. Verse 1. وَالنَّازِعَاتِ غَرْقًا, by those who pull out forcefully. Meaning, many scholars explain this as the angels who pull out the souls of the wicked with force. Verse 2. وَالنَّاشِطَاتِ نَشْطًا, and by those who draw out gently. Meaning, this is understood as the angels who take the souls of the believers gently. Verse 3. وَالسَّابِحَاتِ سَبْحًا, and by those who glide swiftly. Meaning, the angels move quickly and smoothly by Allah's command. Verse 4. فَالسَّابِقَاتِ سَبْقًا, then by those who race ahead. Meaning, they hurry to carry out what Allah commands. Verse 5. فَالْمُدَبِّرَاتِ أَمْرًا, then by those who arrange matters. Meaning, the angels manage matters only by Allah's order. Verse 6. يَوْمَ تَرْجُفُ الرَّاجِفَةُ Ajifa, the day the first blast will shake everything. Meaning, this refers to the great shaking on the day of judgment. Verse 7. تَتْبَعُهَا الرَّادِفَةُ, it will be followed by the second blast. Meaning, another blast will come after it, completing the events of resurrection. Verse 8. قُلُوبٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ وَاجِفَةٌ, hearts that day will tremble. Meaning, people's hearts will be full of fear and shock. Verse 9. أَبْصَارُهَا خَاشِعَةٌ, their eyes will be lowered. Meaning, their eyes will show humiliation, fear, and helplessness. Verse 10. يَقُولُونَ أَإِنَّا لَمَرْدُودُونَ فِي الْحَافِرَةِ, they say, will we really be returned to our former state? Meaning, some people used to deny resurrection and mock the idea of life after death. Verse 11. أَإِذَا كُنَّا عِظَامًا نَخِرَةً, even after we become decayed bones? Meaning, they doubted that Allah could bring dead bones back to life. Verse 12. قَالُوا تِلْكَ إِذًا كَرَّةٌ خَاسِرَةٌ, they say, that would then be a losing return. Meaning, they spoke with mockery, rejecting the truth of resurrection. Verse 13. فَإِنَّمَا هِيَ زَجْرَةٌ وَاحِدَةٌ, but it will be only one single cry. Meaning, resurrection will happen by one command from Allah. Verse 14. فَإِذَا هُمْ بِالسَّاهِرَةِ, then suddenly they will be on the open land. Meaning, people will rise and stand on the plain of resurrection. Verse 15. هَلْ أَتَاكَ حَدِيثُ مُوسَى, has the story of Musa come to you? Meaning, Allah now reminds us of the story of Prophet Musa alayhi salam. Verse 16. إِذْ نَادَاهُ رَبُّهُ بِالْوَادِ الْمُقَدَّسِ طُوًى, when his Lord called him in the sacred valley of Tuwa. Meaning, Allah called Musa in a blessed place and gave him his mission. Verse 17. اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى, go to Fir'aun. Surely he has transgressed. Meaning, Allah sent Musa to Pharaoh because Pharaoh had become arrogant and rebellious. Verse 18. فَقُلْ هَلْ لَكَ إِلَىٰ أَن تَزَكَّى, and say, would you be willing to purify yourself? Meaning, Musa was told to invite Pharaoh kindly toward purification and repentance. Verse 19. وَأَهْدِيَكَ إِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ فَتَخْشَى, and let me guide you to your Lord so that you may fear him. Meaning, the call was to guidance, faith, and fear of Allah. Verse 20. فَأَرَاهُ الْآيَةَ الْكُبْرَى, then he showed him the great sign. Meaning, Musa showed Pharaoh one of the great signs from Allah. Verse 21. فَكَذَّبَ وَعَصَى, but he denied and disobeyed. Meaning, Pharaoh rejected the truth and refused to obey Allah. Verse 22. ثُمَّ أَدْبَرَ يَسْعَى, then he turned away, striving. Meaning, Pharaoh turned away and worked against the truth. Verse 23. فَحَشَرَ فَنَادَى, then he gathered and called out. Meaning, he gathered his people and made a proud public claim. Verse 24. فَقَالَ أَنَا رَبُّكُمُ الْأَعْلَى, and said, I am your highest Lord. Meaning, this was extreme arrogance and disbelief. Verse 25. فَأَخَذَهُ اللَّهُ نَكَالَ الْآخِرَةِ وَالْأُولَى, so Allah seized him with the punishment of the hereafter and the first life. Meaning, Allah punished Pharaoh in this world and he will also face punishment in the hereafter. Verse 26. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَعِبْرَةً لِمَنْ يَخْشَى, surely in that is a lesson for the one who fears Allah. Meaning, the story of Pharaoh is a warning for people who reflect and fear Allah. Verse 27. أأنتم أشد خلقا أم السماء بناها. Are you harder to create or the sky? He built it. Meaning, Allah reminds people that creating the heavens is greater, so resurrection is easy for him. Verse 28. رفع سمكها فسواها. He raised its height and perfected it. Meaning, Allah made the sky high and perfectly ordered. Verse 29. وأغطش ليلها وأخرج ضحاها. And he darkened its night and brought out its brightness. Meaning, Allah controls the night and the day. Verse 30. وَالْأَرْضَ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ دَحَاهَا. And after that, he spread out the earth. Meaning, Allah prepared the earth for life. Verse 31. أَخْرَجَ مِنْهَا مَاءَهَا وَمَرْعَاهَا. He brought out from it its water and its pasture. Meaning, Allah made water and plants come from the earth as provision. Verse 32. وَالْجِبَالَ أَرْسَاهَا. And the mountains, he made them firm. Meaning, Allah fixed the mountains as part of his creation. Verse 33. مَتَاعًا لَكُمْ وَلِأَنْعَامِكُمْ. As provision for you and your livestock. Meaning, all this is a mercy and benefit for people and animals. Verse 34. فَإِذَا جَاءَتِ الطَّامَّةُ الْكُبْرَى. Then, when the greatest overwhelming event comes, meaning, this refers to the great disaster of the Day of Judgment. Verse 35. يَوْمَ يَتَذَكَّرُ الْإِنسَانُ مَا سَعَى. The day when man will remember what he strove for. Meaning, every person will remember the deeds they did. Verse 36. وَبُرِّزَتِ الْجَحِيمُ لِمَنْ يَرَى. And hellfire will be made visible for whoever sees. Meaning, hell will be clearly shown. Verse 37. فَأَمَّا مَنْ طَغَى. Then as for the one who transgressed, meaning, this is the person who crossed Allah's limits. Verse 38. وَآثَرَ الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا. And preferred the life of this world, meaning, he chose worldly life over obedience to Allah. Verse 39. فَإِنَّ الْجَحِيمَ هِيَ الْمَأْوَى. Then surely hell is his shelter. Meaning, the ending of that path is punishment. Verse 40. وَأَمَّا مَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ. But as for the one who feared standing before his Lord, meaning, this is the person who remembers the meeting with Allah. Verse 41. وَنَهَى النَّفْسَ عَنِ الْهَوَى. And restrained the soul from desire, meaning, he fought against sinful desires and controlled himself for Allah's sake. Verse 42. فَإِنَّ الْجَنَّةَ هِيَ الْمَأْوَى. Then surely paradise is his shelter. Meaning, the reward of that person is paradise. Verse 43. يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ السَّاعَةِ أَيَّانَ مُرْسَاهَا. They ask you about the hour. When will it arrive? Meaning, people asked the Prophet about the exact time of the last day. Verse 44. فِيمَ أَنْتَ مِنْ ذِكْرَاهَا. What have you to do with telling its exact time? Meaning, the Prophet was not given the exact time of it. Verse 45. إِلَى رَبِّكَ مُنْتَهَاهَا. To your Lord belongs its final knowledge. Meaning, only Allah fully knows when it will happen. Verse 46. إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ مُنْذِرُ مَنْ يَخْشَاهَا. You are only a warner for whoever fears it. Meaning, the Prophet's role was to warn people so they can prepare. Verse 47. كأنهم يوم يرونها لم يلبثوا إلا عشية أو ضحاها. The day they see it, it will seem as if they stayed only an evening or its morning. Meaning, when people see the hereafter, worldly life will feel extremely short. Life lesson. Surah An-Nazi teaches that this world is short. Resurrection is real, and the one who fears meeting Allah and controls sinful desires is the one who truly succeeds. A person may feel pulled strongly by temptation, anger, pride, or sinful habits, and think it is too hard to resist. This surah reminds them that the struggle against wrong desire is part of the path to paradise. A Muslim should remember the meeting with Allah and choose obedience even when it is difficult. This surah makes the hereafter feel close and real. It teaches us that worldly life is short, but our meeting with Allah is certain. When we fear that meeting in a healthy way and control our desires for Allah's sake, we move toward real peace and success. If this helped you understand the Quran better, subscribe and comment to this channel Quran with Rahim and share this with one person.